Thank you for inviting me onto yours and Sylvester's show, Lazar. That is very nice of you. Sylvester, too.
Think nothing of it, Jingles. I'm glad to have you here. Sylvester is too. He even told me so. He said to me, Lazar, the only way you'll get me to stay home and miss the show is if you can get Jingles to take my place. The little guy is loyal to a fault. Honestly though, Jingles, he needed a break. What with all the repairs he's been helping out with, they've really worn him out.
He's not getting sick again, is he, Lazar? He's not going into remission, is he?
Oh no, nothing like that. He's just pooped. As soon as one thing gets broken and then repaired, something else has to be fixed. He's just tired from helping with it all. Going down to the hardware store, carrying it all back, helping with fixing whatever was broken. The kid needs a break. After all, it wasn't that long ago he was in the hospital. He shouldn't be working so hard. He just won't listen when we tell him to take it slow. So we are all grateful that you could fill in on this week's show, especially at such short notice.
Like I said, Lazar, think nothing of it. It's kind of like old times. The stage is new. The set is new. Even so, I don't know that we've changed all that much. Sure, we've been through a lot since we did our last show together.
You can say that again, pal.
For the most part, not much has changed between us. We're still friends, just like we always will be.
You betcha, Jingles.
What? You're going to have to speak up. I can't hear you over the screaming.
What's that all about?
Sounds like trouble.
If this is what I think it is...
Yo, Lazar!
As if I didn't already know.
Miss Bear needs you to run off to the hardware store pronto. Says she needs a load of drywall and fire retardant wallpaper. A heap of paint, too.
Lazar, I'll ask. Randall, did she say what happened?
You're sure you want to hear it while we're still on the air? Lazar might drop dead in front of the live audience.
The lion says yes, Randall.
Seems as though Nipsy heard a story about a pool being set on fire from someone, somewhere at some time.
Elmer.
Anyway, he wanted to try it out himself, just like he heard it was done to the pool. A box match later and...
I get the picture, Randall. In 3 dimensions plus another despair. Where's Nipsy?
Don't ask me. I was just a messenger. Miss Bear wants you home stat.
Go on, Lazar. I'll take over the show from here. You've got more important things to do.
Are you sure, Jingles? You're just supposed to be the guest host this week.
We did these shows together for years, Lazar. I think I can handle a solo outing for a few minutes, don't you?
You sure can. Thanks, Jingles. I'd have really been up creek without a paddle if you weren't here. Thank you for covering for me.
That's what friends are for, Lazar. Now get. If I know Mrs. Bear, she won't want to be kept waiting for those supplies.
Good luck, Jingles.
Elmer and Nipsy. Those two together are like rubbing a stick of dynamite against a match. It's only a matter of time before you get an explosion. What is it this time?
What's going on? Who's that?
More interruptions. I better check this out. What is it, Randall? What's happened?
I just got the first film loaded and was heading back to the vault when I was tripped. Look.
Huh? What? Where? Oh, yes, I see. Are you okay, Randall?
Sure. Well, it's just a surprise. What about?
You take one, I'll take the other. On 3.
Gotcha, Jingles.
1, 2, 3.
Hey!
Nipsy Lion, what are you doing hiding underneath all those costumes?
Taking a nap before you woke me up. What's the big idea, you big goon?
That's some mouth brat. First you blew up the bathroom, then you tripped me, now you backtalk. 3 strikes, pal. I should call Miss Bear right now and let her come down and paddle your canoe.
Says you. Maybe if you didn't have feet the size of boat anchors, you wouldn't sink like the Titanic.
Nipsy, please, can we not argue? This is a Thanksgiving show. Oh no, we're on the air. Forget the argument. Nipsy, you're with me. Randall, get the second film. We'll sort this out later.
What? I'm going to be on TV?
Unfortunately, yes. Now get up off the floor and come on.
Awesome!
Well, this show seems to be shaping itself into something a little different as planned. Your guest host, me, has turned into the master of ceremonies of a sort, whereas we have been presented a new guest host. Let's welcome young Nipsy Lion.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Lazar.
That would be Mrs. Bear. Randall isn't around to answer the phone right now, Mrs. Bear. I'll explain all of this after the show is over. Until then, I'm all on my own here.
Whoa, do that again, Jingles.
This is, or was, or is trying to be a holiday-themed show, as is our custom this time of year, and for the 8th year in a row, we, that is Nipsy and I, will present our 2 favorite Thanksgiving shorts.
They aren't mine. Lazar always makes me watch them. I'd rather watch football.
Could this get any worse?
I have to use the bathroom.
I had to ask. Nipsy, at the break, let me just finish introducing the first film.
Suit yourself. I might burst right here on stage and it'll not be your fault.
8 years ago, Lazar and I brought you the 1951 short film Dining Together. Every year since then, we've shared this film with you during the month of November. It's a short film, and it's quite simple in nature. It's the story of a family's Thanksgiving meal one afternoon long, long ago. You might chalk it up to a memory, a faded one at that, a shadow from a bygone era. Even so, it's a memory that lingers still, one of great importance, because the memory still has worth today. It's a memory of family, of friendship, of kindness and respect. It's a memory which reminds us to honor each other, and a day which has been set aside for giving thanks, and for all we have, and for who we have in our lives. Yet this is a simple film. Even so, its message is not quite so simple as it may appear. With this in mind, I present Dining Together.
Speaking of food, do you have $1? I'd like to get some Cheetos from the vending machine in the hall.
Nipsy, we need to sit down and have a long, long talk.
This is a story of a holiday and home. Helping make ready a celebration is part of the fun. Especially for one of the nicest days of the year, Thanksgiving. There is happiness in the air, and the smell of turkey. That does look good. Thanksgiving is a day for the best of everything. And friends invited to dinner. We remember the Pilgrims had only rough tables on which to serve the first Thanksgiving feast, yet it was shared with friendly Indians. It is good to share a holiday with friends. And it is good to have friends like to come to our home. Good manners make people happy, and good table manners make eating together a happy time. We are thankful for our home and our happy meal. We are glad we have good table manners and know what to do with a napkin. And how to use a spoon in eating soup easily without noise. It just wouldn't be Thanksgiving without turkey. We know Mother knows how to cook it. And Father knows how to carve it. It is fine to know how to sit up and watch it being carved. You would know this is a holiday plate. At the first Thanksgiving dinner, the Indians didn't eat turkey with a fork. But it is easy to learn to use one the right way, to take small mouthfuls. how to butter and eat bread in small bites, so we never have to talk with food in our mouths. It is good to have learned to chew with lips closed and know when to take a drink. Good table manners keep our meals happy meals, and those who eat with us happy. Learning to use a knife the right way takes practice, yet each time we do, it becomes easier. What to do with a knife and fork, even when finished using them, is part of eating well. Holidays are days to be glad, and all good manners are ways to make people glad. We like to offer help, or to help when asked. Nice to talk with others and to know when to wait and listen. We are glad to eat neatly, without spots. Holidays are fun. And it is good to be part of a celebration. It is fine to have learned so much and to have so much in our home to make holiday celebrations happy. Now, could you wish for more?
Nipsy, sit, stay, listen.
I'm not a dog.
Until you start acting like a lion and not a rabid animal, you're going to be treated like what you're acting like. So sit, be quiet, listen.
Hey, Jingles,
What, Nipsy?
sit on it.
Ugh. Folks, regardless of what you see displayed in front of you, Thanksgiving is indeed a time for friendship, for family.
You could have fooled me.
Thanksgiving is also a time for respect, for mutual understanding, and dare I even mention it, for forgiveness?
People who live in glass houses.
Even though at some points in time forgiveness might seem to be unreasonable or even an unreachable point, we must remember this. In His mercy, through His act on the cross, we have been forgiven for all of our transgressions, Can we hold anything against those who have done us wrong? Are we going to be hypocrites? We hope, or perhaps expect, to be forgiven when all is said and done. Therefore we must forgive in the here and now. It is at this time of year, when we offer up thanks to our dear Lord, that we must forgive all who have done us wrong and invite them back into our fold. It doesn't matter if they've hurt us in some small way, such as said an unkind word about us behind our backs, or done something much worse, such as set fire to our house's only bathroom. We cannot talk to the Lord this day without having forgiven everyone anything. For remember the words of the Lord, and why beholdest thou the mote in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, Let me pull the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite! First cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. If we're to offer thanks for all we have this day, we must not allow our vision to be clouded by petty bickerings, which in the end is what all our differences come down to. We must cast out the beams in our eyes so that we can see clearly before we talk to God, or else we'll be talking to Him with clouded vision and not seeing life clearly. He'll still hear us, still help us. However, the things He will be able to do in our lives will be limited, not because He is limited, but because we ourselves are allowing ourselves to be limited by our own choice, by the unforgiving nature we allow to remain in us.
Jingles,
Yes, Nipsy?
I'd like to say something if it's okay.
Sure, kid. You go right ahead.
Mom, Dad, Mrs. Bear, everyone at the Bears, even you, Lazar. I guess I should apologize for how I've been acting around you all lately. All I've been doing is acting up, breaking things. I don't mean for things to get so out of hand. I really don't. It's just that the things I do, they end up being a lot worse than I think they are going to be. Like I didn't mean to set fire to the bathtub this morning. I just thought, I don't know what I thought would happen. It's just that everyone is off doing their own thing. Nobody has any time for me. With Bunson and Allison needing so much doctoring, Wendell needing so much attention, Margaret working, Jenny in the hospital, there really isn't anyone for me to talk to. I look for things to do and it always ends up with me getting into trouble. I don't mean for it to end up that way, it just does. I guess I just want to tell everyone I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the bathroom. I'm sorry for the termites in the attic.
What?
Whoops.
I think I need to get that phone call. While I handle yet another problem, I have for you once more, for the 8th year in a row, Day of Thanksgiving. As it is one of my favorite Thanksgiving films, I hope you too will enjoy it as well, just as I hope you've enjoyed it all these years. May this film be a pleasant contribution to your Thanksgiving weekend. Now I've really got to get that phone call and find out what's going on over at the Bears residence.
I'm Bill Johnson. Around here, they just call me Dad. I've been trying to read, but I just can't seem to do it. I keep thinking about today, Thanksgiving Day. We Johnsons had a good Thanksgiving, the best we've ever had. And I can't help thinking that what made it better was a real feeling of thankfulness. And that's odd, too, when you consider the shape things were in when I got home from work yesterday. Kids, Dick and Tommy and Susan, were all home from school. And of course, Mother and the baby were there. As kids will, mine were living tomorrow right along with today, looking forward to Thanksgiving. And like most men, I'm glad it was Mother instead of me who had to break the news to them.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Turkey and dressing and pie and cake.
And fruit salad and whipped cream and cranberries. Gee, I can hardly wait. Me too.
Well, you know, children, we've had a lot of expenses this month, and, well, your father and I thought that... Well, the truth of the matter is, there just won't be any turkey this year.
No turkey for Thanksgiving?
Oh, I'm going to make a pumpkin pie, and we'll have plenty to eat, but, well, we'll just have to get along without turkey.
Mom, you don't mean it. It won't be Thanksgiving at all.
Even the Pilgrims had a feast. After all, isn't that what Thanksgiving's for? I don't think it's fair.
And it was right there that I came in, right in the thick of it. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Paul.
Hello, Mother, Dick, Susan. Well, what's been going on around here? What's the matter with everybody, anyway?
Mom says we're not going to have any Thanksgiving. No turkey, no good thing.
A fat lot we're going to have to be thankful for.
Oh, I don't think you kids really mean that.
We do, too. We've always had turkey for Thanksgiving.
Yes, and everybody else in the block's going to have it this year. Same as always.
Yes, we've always had turkey, just as a lot of Americans have had it, and we'll keep on having it. Turkey on Thanksgiving's a great American tradition. But what you kids are saying makes it sound as if the turkey's the only thing we had to be thankful for.
Well, gee whiz, no, Dad. It's not that at all.
Oh, I know, Dick. With turkey, it's easy to lose sight of what Thanksgiving really means.
And don't think we're just making excuses because we don't have any turkey this year. Well, we know it'll mean a lot more to us the next time we do have it.
Well, sure. Suppose we don't have a bang-up feast. We're still a lot better off than the Pilgrims.
That's it, Dick. Do you other kids see what Dick's trying to say? Turkey or no turkey, we've still got all the freedoms and privileges the Pilgrims gave us. And out of those privileges have come a lot of things. Things the Pilgrims never even dreamed of.
Why, we could make a list a mile long. Why don't we do it?
Now, hold on a minute. You've got the idea, but it isn't something you can write down like a grocery list. You've got to feel it down deep before you can really be thankful for anything. I tell you what let's do. Let's take a little more time to think this over. When you get right down to it, there are some pretty tough decisions in making up your mind what means the most to you. Your life? Sure, that's one thing you can't get along without. But do you know that there are some places in the world today where you have to get along without just about everything else?
Golly, Daddy.
I guess I kind of got carried away. But I'll bet you one thing. If we really think over what we have to be thankful for, when we sit down to whatever Mother fixes to eat tomorrow, we'll be one family in America that will really have a Thanksgiving dinner. Well, that's how it got started. The Johnsons didn't have any turkey. And the kids, no, I mean everybody, likes to make something special out of a special day. So we fell back on something as old as the Pilgrims, toting up the common, ordinary blessings that we had to be thankful for. That night, I'd see Dick there building his model airplane, and Susan just playing. Only they weren't just playing. They were mulling things over, thinking big thoughts for such young heads. And as for Mother and Tom and baby Janet, and yes, me too, it was as if we had our eyes open for the first time. Things there were to appreciate in just any ordinary day in America. When we took our places around the table and we were ready. And then, well, we all knew it. There are some things you just can't say. But everybody in his own way knew what he had to be thankful for, and that this was the time to think about it. Tom was first.
I am thankful for getting plenty to eat all the time, with extras that count, like cookies and milk after school. Like Mom says, I'm hungry all the time anyway, and if I didn't live in a country where there was plenty to go around, golly. And I'm thankful for the free public library, where I can get books about adventure. Jack London, Richard Halliburton. Gee, the way they tell a story, it's as good as being there yourself. And it's free, with only a library card.
Yes, Tommy thought about some of the things he ought to be glad for all the time. And somehow turkey and trimming seemed to matter a whole lot less than he thought they did yesterday. Well, then it was Susan's turn. Susan's a happy-go-lucky kid. You'd never credit her with thinking beyond her dolls, but she got right into the spirit of it.
I am thankful we have what we need to wear. Though Mother says it's hard to keep up with us, we grow so fast. I never thought before how many clothes it takes for all kinds of weather, or how it would be to have to do without the right ones. I'm glad to be able to go to Sunday school, or go to any church I want, any Sunday. I'm thankful for my mother and daddy, that they are here with us, that both of them aren't too worried about things to take time to have fun with us. I'm glad we're a family, that families are still important in America.
I guess Dick, being the oldest, was having some pretty serious thoughts.
I am thankful for being able to get an education, for living where schools, all schools, open their doors to a guy who wants to learn, where school books are studied instead of burned, where a guy is rated by how much he knows, and the community is rated by how well it teaches him. I'm glad I've got a chance to play, batting a ball around once in a while. Stuff like that. I'm glad it's fun, growing up in America.
Sure, baby Janet's too young to understand the big word Thanksgiving. She's too little even to tell us the things that make her happy. But we can tell, and maybe she's thinking about them now. Maybe she's thinking about the fun of splashing around in the tub, and about how good it feels to be clean. About playtime with Mother, and the security she feels in Mother's arms. And as for Mother, seems she's always working, cooking, ironing, tending children, daylight to dark. What does she have to be thankful for?
I am thankful that my children had the privilege of being born safely and of growing up healthy and strong. I'm thankful that I have the privilege of guiding them as they become useful men and women. And I'm thankful for all the things our American system makes possible for the Smiths and the Browns and the Johnsons, for washing machines, hot water out of a tap, and a telephone to call the doctor when one of the family is sick. A car to get Dad to work. Yes, I'm thankful for all the things free people working together can produce. I'm thankful that when my neighbor drops in to borrow a cup of flour, we've got the right to talk about anything we want to. The parent-teacher project, the new mayor, or Jane Jones' hat. And last of all, I'm truly thankful for the peace of mind that Dad's job brings, for knowing that even though there are lots of luxuries we can't afford, there still will always be enough to go around for the things we have to have. I'm glad Dad doesn't work slave hours, that there are evenings and Sundays and vacations when we can all be together.
That's Mother for you, grateful for what America means to her family. And now for me. I've got so many things to be thankful for. I'm thankful for this house. It may need a coat of paint, it has a mortgage, but it's ours, a place where we can be together in privacy. And I'm thankful for the thing that makes this house our home, the happiness here, not just today or on Christmas morning, but on a day-to-day basis all through the year. For knowing that a knock on our door means nothing to fear. A friend calling, or maybe a bill collector, or a kid selling magazines. You never know what to expect. But you can count on one thing. It's not going to be some political gangster coming to drag one of us off to jail because we believe in freedom. And I'm glad that that freedom we've got lets me choose the kind of work I like and can do best. Taking a sluggish motor and making it hum again. Makes me feel that somebody got to his work, or wherever he had to go, just because of me. And feeling like that gives me a lot of satisfaction. And I'm thankful for my newspaper. Just a few cents worth of printer's ink and paper, but more valuable than any amount of money. Because in it, the editor's got the privilege of printing what he thinks. And I've got the privilege of agreeing with him or not, however the facts strike me. And both of us, the editor and I, have the right to act on our opinions on Election Day, to vote for the principles we believe in. And finally, I'm thankful for being able to believe, in spite of everything, that somehow, someway, the unity we've got here in the Johnson family will someday spread to men and nations throughout the world. For all these things, we are truly and humbly thankful. Amen.
Well, you certainly have pushed the limits on hospitality, Nipsy.
Yeah, I guess I have.
Even so, Mrs. Bear is still willing to put up with you. You're lucky she has such a forgiving nature.
Thanks for going to bat for me, Jingles. I owe you one.
You're just lucky those weren't termites, kid. Ants, while annoying, are a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, I guess so. Steve cheated me, though. Wait till I get even.
Nipsy, remember what I said about forgiving someone? You are forgiving quite a bit. I think it'd be in your best interest to let this one go.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't want to push my luck. The last thing I need is to get into a fight with that nitwit. I know I'd win, but the little mama's boy would run off and tell, and then I'd really be in trouble with Mrs. B.
Nipsy?
Yeah, Jingles?
Chill, dude.
Yeah.
To family, to friendship, to unrewarded acts of kindness unprinted and unknown, to a time of gratitude and thanksgiving. Be this a day spent with loved ones known for uncounted years, or new ones known for but a matter of days, or perhaps simply a day spent with a pet who loves you more than all of creation itself. Remember this one fact. It matters little whom you spend this day with. All that matters is the love that is shared between you and another living being, for this is a day of love and companionship. I sincerely hope this day finds you with both.
Jingles?
Yes, Nipsy?
Do you think there will be any of those things for me at Mrs. Bear's? Or with Lazar having to work in the bathroom most of the day?
Mrs. Bear is one of the nicest ladies in the world. She's already forgiven you. As for Lazar...
The big goon?
As for Lazar, he has lived with you for your entire life. He's your brother. He's used to you, and all of the crazy things you do. Above all, he's family. He has no choice but to love you. He'll forgive you, maybe not while he's ripping out the old bathtub, but when all is said and done, he'll forgive you.
So you think I'll be able to have some of Mrs. B's pumpkin pie after Thanksgiving dinner?
If that's what you're worried about, then let not your heart be troubled. You'll get your dessert. One thing though, Nipsy.
What's that, Jingles?
From now on, if you're going to play with someone, play with Sylvester. I think that the two of you would get into far less trouble than you and Elmer seem to cause. Yeah, you'll still get into a little mischief with Sylvester, but nothing like today's debacle.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But Jingles, there's one thing I haven't mentioned yet, about the fire. I guess I should tell someone. After all, I was told to.
You were told to? By who? What is it, Nipsy?